Today, we're not just talking about Chinese culture and marketing, we're adding a little forensic linguistic flair to it. I do analyze language in a legal setting, you know. If you didn't know that already, check out my website in the description box below. Here's a trademark case where the company lost not because someone stole their name, but because the public invented a better one and the company never claimed it. When Pfizer launched Viagra in the US back in 1998, they knew China would need a Chinese name. They landed on Wan Ai Kie, a fairly neutral phonetic translation. Nothing catchy, nothing memorable, just safe. The Chinese public had other ideas. Almost immediately, people started calling it Wei Jie. It translates roughly to mighty brother or powerful big brother, and honestly, it's brilliant. It's punchy, it's a little cheeky, it rolls off the tongue in a way Wan Ai Kie never could. Within a couple of years, nobody in China was saying Wan Ai Kie. Everybody said Wei Jie. Doctors said it, newspapers said it. It became the de facto name for the drug, more famous in everyday speech than Pfizer's actual registered trademark. Here's where it gets interesting from a legal standpoint. In 1998, the same year Viagra launched in the US, a company called Guangzhou Wellman Pharmaceutical filed to register Wei Jie as their own trademark. Not for Viagra, for their own unrelated erectile dysfunction drug. They got the registration approved in 2002. Pfizer saw what was happening and tried to register Wei Jie for themselves. Refused. The mark was already taken. So in November of 2005, Pfizer sued Wellman. Their argument was straightforward. Wei Jie had become so closely associated with Viagra in the public mind that it functioned as Pfizer's unregistered trademark, even though they'd never officially filed for it. Under Chinese trademark law, there's a real legal path for that. If a mark becomes strongly linked to your product through public use, courts can sometimes protect it even without formal registration. Pfizer lost. And the reasoning is the part I really want you to sit with, because it's pure forensic linguistics. The court looked at the actual evidence of what Pfizer itself called its product. Pfizer's own attorney on the record confirmed that the official commodity name for their drug was Wan Ai Kie. Pfizer admitted in court that they themselves had never used Wei Jie as their trademark, not in ads, not on packaging, not anywhere official. Think about what that means. The nickname wasn't something Pfizer created and the public simply adopted. It was something the public created entirely on their own, organically, out of pure linguistic instinct. And Pfizer never claimed it as theirs until they suddenly needed to defend it in court. The Beijing court and later the Supreme People's Court both held the same view. You can't retroactively claim ownership of language you never used just because it turned out to be more popular than the name you actually chose. Pfizer appealed. They lost the appeal too. This is what I mean when I say language reveals what people are trying to hide. Or, in this case, what a company failed to plan for. Pfizer's mistake wasn't losing a fight to a squatter who stole their name. Their mistake was underestimating their own market. They handed Chinese consumers a flat, forgettable official name, and Chinese speakers did what Chinese speakers do brilliantly. They created something better, faster, and funnier, entirely without asking permission. And by the time Pfizer realized the nickname had become the actual brand, someone else had already filed the paperwork. There's a bigger lesson here for any company doing business in China, and it's one I talk about constantly. Your Chinese name is not a translation exercise you can outsource and forget. It's a living piece of language that your market will reshape whether you like it or not. If you don't actively claim and register the name people are actually going to use in your own voice from day one, someone else can, and often will. Pfizer eventually did win related battles, including a court fight over the drug's distinctive shape. But Wei Jie, the name every single person in China actually uses when they talk about the little blue pill, that one, Pfizer never got back. If you want to dig deeper into this, check out the link to my website in the description box below. Subscribe if you want more of these. There's a lot more where this came from. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.